I'm Ken Hames. I was in the military for 27 years. I served in the Army, the Royal Marines and Special Forces. Since I left 6 years ago, I've used the skills the Army gave me to carve out a new career as a motivational speaker and TV presenter, challenging others to test their own limits. I've been really lucky, but others haven't. And some people who have served their country don't even have the most basic necessity, shelter. On any given night in London alone, there are thought to be over 1,000 homeless veterans.
One thing I really learnt when I was in the Army is that you never let your mates down and you never leave them behind. The principle of the battlefield is that somebody drops, we carry them and we carry them back to safety.
I want to know why so many veterans are homeless. I want to know if their experience in the military has caused it. And on my journey, I'll be forced to confront my own experiences. Am I really that different to Britain's homeless soldiers?
I decided to join the Army when I was about 14. And my dad gave me some of his old badges and bits of military equipment. And it was adventure, I think, that attracted me.
During my career, I served in Northern Ireland, the Falklands and the Gulf. I fought alongside men and women who, like me, were prepared to lay down their lives for their country. But it's not a one-sided commitment. It's part of something called the Military Covenant, the 200-year-old terms by which the Army goes to war on the nation's behalf. It says that soldiers will be called upon to make personal sacrifices, including the ultimate sacrifice, confident that in return, the nation will look after them and their families. Why then are people who serve with me slipping through the cracks and becoming homeless? In some parts of the UK, veterans are thought to make up 12% of the homeless population. Holborn Viaduct in London is one place I've been told homeless soldiers sleep rough.
It's a really sad old place here. It stinks of urine, it's cold, it's miserable. And in these doorways there's fag butts and matches and evidence that people were here last night.
It's the last kind of place I think anyone, let alone a soldier, should have to live. But it's here, under the shelter of the viaduct, that I find Davy Pascoe. He has been homeless since 1991, in and out of hostels and living rough on the streets.
How you doing, pal? You alright? Do you want a fag? Yeah. Do you want a real one?
Yeah, they give you. How long
you wouldn't know it to look at him, but Davy, who's 41, comes from a family with a long military history.
So 2 sons and the dad, and what about your granddad? Was he in as well?
Yeah, he was in the Royal Navy.
He was in the Royal Navy?
Second World War.
So 1, 2, 3 generations of your family serve this country?
Yeah.
Davy spent 5 years in the Army as a tank driver and a machine gunner. But he tells me that staying in peak condition proved difficult.
Coming out of tanks really was a bit daft, but I was having trouble with fitness at the time, and my fitness was getting bad. And
so you got unfit and you had trouble keeping up with your BFTs, your battle fitness test, combat fitness test.
Yeah.
And then what happened then?
I then come out and later.
Did you just decide to leave? You said I'm going to leave and I'm going to go, or?
Yeah, I just got on the train, come back to my mum's, knocked on the door. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I've come out of the Army," and then she went mad, and my brother went mad because he was in artillery as well.
How did you become homeless and sleeping rough?
I sort of gone down a crooked path then and got in trouble, and got in with the wrong crowd sort of thing, and end up in trouble with the police and all sorts of things and that.
Davey lost contact with his parents and brother and is completely on his own. He has spent years in and out of hostels, but bad experiences have left him unable to trust anyone. A few weeks ago, the few possessions he had were stolen. It's heartbreaking that a highly trained tank driver can end up homeless for 17 years.
I feel a bit choked up, to be honest. I feel really sorry for him. It's desperate, isn't it? Desperate. I am being... No, I'm being pathetic. God. I just want to scoop him up and take him home, you know? Really. It's desperately sad. It's just awful. Awful.
Davey has touched a nerve. I know I can't make everything instantly all right for him, but I can at least keep him company for a bit.
So I'll be okay here, yeah?
That's it.
I want to get a sense of what Davey goes through every night under the viaduct, surviving and fending for himself.
Down here, this is why I choose it, it's quite nice down here.
Yeah.
So it's better than your Strand. This is about the nicest place you'll get in London.